The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Now we got more clips here from the Tom Brady roast last night on Netflix, and it's all on there right now today, by the way, if you want to watch the whole thing. But Nikki Glazer was perfection. As good as Jeff Ross is at roasting, and he was incredible, Nikki Glazer's set was perfection. And, boy, it's hard to edit some of these jokes to play on the radio. It's a little tough. I have a Nikki Glazer story before we get to the clips. I did the first radio interview with her because Bert Kreischer brought her into the show, and she was the opener. And he said, can I bring this new up-and-coming comic in? She's never done radio. I go, yeah, bring her in. So she goes on, and Bert's killing it as usual. And then she starts with a story that was a very sexual story, and she dropped not only an F-bomb, but a little bit of graphicness about what goes on in the bedroom between a man and a woman when they're having a good time.
What does happen?
There's some good times.
Playing Jenga?
Yeah. And I had to tell her, we had this dump button behind the curtain stuff here. We're broadcasting like about an 8-second delay. So if someone swears, I can push this button. It doesn't go over the air. So I push that. I go, Nikki, you're killing it, but you can't do that. I can't put that on the radio. And she goes, oh, I got it. I understand. So we come back. I go, okay, Nikki, tell that story again. Because I said, tell it in a way that you can tell it on the radio.
Right, like edit.
Yeah. She told it exactly the same way. And Bert Kreischer hit the floor with that Bert Kreischer laugh so hard. And I'm like, okay, why don't we just skip that story then? We're never going to get there.
Mind.
But in the Tom Brady roast last night, she crushed it. And here's one of her jokes.
Oh, my God. Just knowing your ex-wife's new boyfriend can beat your ass while hers. That's got to be terrible.
Because his ex, Giselle, is now dating a guy that's a jiu-jitsu instructor.
Tough guy.
Yeah. And then she had this one that talked about him losing his money in cryptocurrency, which was a big deal. They had the whole scandal, $30 billion. He lost $30 million himself. And then Gronk was sitting there next to Kevin Hart.
Tom also lost $30 million in crypto. Tom, how did you fall for that? I mean, even Gronk was like, me know that not real money. Like...
Oh, man, you got to go back and watch it if you haven't. It's amazing. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for some backyard news, stuff going on in and around Chicagoland you may not have heard of over the weekend. Neighbors and businesses and owners in the West Town neighborhood on alert after a robbery at a popular bar. And I've been to this place. I used to go to this actually kind of regularly when I lived more in River North, heading over to West Town. The Irish Nobleman Pub. It's at 1367 West Erie. At 1:45 Saturday night / Sunday morning, the bar was robbed at gunpoint. 3 suspects walked in and robbed everybody in the bar and left in 60 seconds.
Wow.
They were out of there.
Going after a record? Would they contact Guinness after?
I don't know what they did. It's terrifying. You're sitting there having a beer at the bar. Maybe it's the end of the night. You're like getting out of the house for a minute. I don't know what you were doing, but it's terrifying. It's a nice Irish pub over there. Very chill.
I always thought the worst minute ever is like a treadmill minute. That would be worse. Probably getting robbed at gunpoint in 60 seconds,
That'd be terrifying.
That's horrible.
Yeah, they grabbed purses, cell phones, wallets, $250 in cash from the register. Those bars are just getting by. Those bars are just barely making it. And they got in there and out, and they're still looking for the suspects. So if you know anybody, call the police. That's terrible.
That's good. Thanks for the advice, Brian.
Yeah, call them out. Well, people don't want to rap, but people like that doing that kind of stuff. You can be a rat.
I would tell on you in 2 seconds.
I figured you would. And that wasn't me, by the way. I go there to drink, and I pay for my drinks there.
Yeah,
well, it seems like you know a lot about the story.
I know. I always was bragging about how fast he did it, right? He's like, you won't believe these incredible specimens.
Do you honestly believe I could do something in 60 seconds? Anything?
Well, you're desperate for money.
I believe you can do a few things in 60 seconds.
All right, well, listen, we're thinking of the people that worked there at the Irish Nobleman Pub, and the customers that were there had to be terrifying. Another local story. Chicago speed cameras raked in $102 million in 2023. What that means is a ticket every 20 seconds. Speaking of time.
So what do you, half of those?
I am easily, I know I'm $700 or $800 of those tickets. That's me in 1 year. This turned into a tax.
You probably have a gold star next to your name. That's our guy.
Mm-hmm. They got my license plate. They got everything taken out, that Nissan Rogue. Here it comes again. Let's go. Woo! We're going to eat today. Thank God.
Today.
Now, listen, I want to make it clear when I talk about this is that I'm not for people speeding, obviously. And I just think these cameras, when it's 6 miles per hour over, it's impossible to not regulate how fast your car is going. Do I sit there and make sure it's at 35 or 34?
It's very hard to see how fast your
It's
car is
very
going.
difficult, especially when you're passing people in Chicago.
I would say don't make that argument because they may decide that you shouldn't have a license if you argue how hard it is to go the right speed.
It's hard to go exactly the right speed. Do you ever? How often do you look down at your speedometer? Really?
No, I don't black out when I drive.
See what I'm saying?
I hate driving.
I'll even give you the one that's got me. It's the 2705 West Irving Park. That one alone, that camera, $2.45 million has gotten.
You're a big contributor.
Big contributor to that one. That's one of the highest ones.
But I bet that'll go down because I bet people were only speeding there because they were excited to get to the Burger King. And now that the Burger King's torn down, there's probably going to be way less speeding tickets in that area.
It's out of there.
What is over there now?
Nothing.
Well, you got the camera's by the cemetery on the north side of Graceland Cemetery. So on both sides. So if you're rushing that direction toward the old Burger King, yeah, don't do it. Number one was Russian Division. 901 North Clark Street at Russian Division, $2.52 million. That camera did it.
Well, it's called Rush Street. I mean, jeez.
Well,
Can't even be in a hurry.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in a hurry somewhere, what's the big deal is? Name it something else.
Yeah, that's bad branding on Russia's behalf.
Yeah, how about Slow Down Road? If you're going to be a stickler about the whole thing.
Slow Down Road. Trying to see how that flows.
Slow Down Road. Kind of.
I'm going over to Gibson's on Slow Down Road, near Slow Down Road.
See?
Here's another staggering stat. 10 years, those have been up, those cameras. $879 million in fines, 9,100,000 tickets. That's when they were put in. Almost $1 billion they've raised from the speed cameras. I want some money from that. At least if I'm contributing, I should get something back.
Why would that be your philosophy?
Because
I'm take a penny, leave a penny.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I feel like if I didn't get any, I should get a payout. Like, thanks for being safe.
You're just not caught yet. You're not going to the right.
Facts. I don't drive at appropriate speed at all.
Oh.
And I own that.
Let's do some better news, some good news. A new 100-acre sports complex is coming to New Lenox.
Nice.
So this will be, well, Kenzie's saying that because she doesn't want more travel baseball sites.
Great.
And that's what kind of it'll be.
Yeah, we're sure they're going to set up a tournament.
Yep. New tournament, New Lenox for Kenzie. So it's near I-80 and I-355, the Crossroads Sports Complex. It will occupy a 100-acre parcel of land adjacent to the Silver Cross Hospital. So they're going to have retail stores, hotels, restaurants, but of course it's for those kind of sports like softball fields, youth baseball.
I'm happy they're going to fill it with stuff that you can't go do because it'd be the baseball game all day.
29 youth baseball fields are going to be on there, Kenzie, in the new complex.
Oh, God.
29 fields. 12 soccer fields.
You know the show 13 Reasons? There's going to be like 29 reasons for me. Oh, my God.
Hey, they're going to have a beer garden. That's all I care about. Have a beer garden. It'd be nice. Finally, I think I'm saying this right, the Junior Winery and Brewery hold a fundraiser for Foxtrot employees that got left in the cold when they just basically shut the store down.
Junior Winery?
Deer Winery and Brewery.
Oh, there's a junior?
No.
Oh, my God, you have a junior winery? That's weird.
The Junior Winery and Brewery. They had a nice fundraiser Saturday night for the people of Foxtrot that kind of just left out in the cold when they closed suddenly, and they raised some money. And, of course, there's some GoFundMes out there if you want to help those employees because just like the Signature Room, just like Uncle Julio's, when they closed these things, like just suddenly they went boom, and these people were left out in the cold. They're going to sue, and hopefully they get some money because they should get something after working there for so long. And there you go. There's some local news for you here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. You can get your takeaways in right now, 312-591-8300. Text in your takeaway from memorable moments of today's show, something that stayed in your brain from today's show.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for takeaways. As Lauren's coming in here in a couple seconds, take over. 312-591-8300. You send in your takeaway, and we read them. Case, what do you got?
Leo checked in from Chicago. Every day, Lonzo Ball lives Kenzie's dream.
Oh. Icon. I mean, just an icon. An inspiration to us all.
Yeah, some people, not looked at as pioneers when it's going on, but later they will be appreciated.
A lot of genius is not appreciated in their own time.
No. Kenzie, what do you got?
Chef Sean, if you can build a plane, you can build bacteria. Case the producer.
That's right.
That's a quote from today. And finally, 847 checked in. Kenzie wants to do a live broadcast from a strip club.
Oh, come on.
Saliva's strip club specifically.
No.
The band Saliva's strip club.
Better be on the way to Cabo. I'm not playing around.
You miss a moment, miss a lot. Case, what's on the podcast?
Well, a lot of stuff we just talked about. Kenzie is going to make a pilgrimage to the strip club in Memphis where the band Saliva was formed.
Oh, it's in Memphis?
It is in
well,
Memphis.
Maybe I'll stop by.
Technically on its way to Cabo, technically.
I suppose. Now it's all clearing up. The skies are beautiful.
There you go. We've got a new reason for you to be terrified of forklifts that we learned during Clash with Kenzie today.
Wow, I forgot about that.
And unfortunately, we learned that Kenzie is a Boeing whistleblower and that she is next on the list of people that are going to be taken out.
Thank God. Hopefully soon. I don't have to work the whole week. Don't do it on Friday.
You understand what taking
That
out
would
means?
piss me off.
You'll be dead, you
Well,
understand?
I don't want to work and then get killed. It
It
better happen. Ideally, it would happen on the way in today after the weekend. Not I don't want to work all day and then it happens. That's not fun.
I just picture your angel flying up to heaven going like, woo, dodged the bullet there.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
I didn't dodge their bullet,
Yeah.
but I dodged the bullet. But I didn't have to work today
Amen.
just because I was going to whistle blow on Boeing. Make sure you go to the podcast, the new Brian and Kenzie podcast, Q101.com, Spotify, Apple, everywhere.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.